Hey, look who's back. How are you?
Finally feeling better.
Good.
Couple of weeks of the you know what probably
Yeah. Yeah.
a really bad cold. But we're over it now. But the routine surgery, all that stuff, the medications. I'm one that never goes to a doctor, and I probably haven't seen one in 5 years. So now that you get mixed into it, they pull you right in. You become a regular.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a regular. So I'm on the mend and probably about 90%. So almost back to normal.
Good to hear. Good to hear. All right, let's get stuck into this week's presentation, guys. Getting a little bit more difficult to come up with mind-blowing stuff for you, but we're kind of holding it together.
Well, part of the reason is that the mind blowing stuff that we come up with we can't say it here.
Yeah.
So we've had to, we've identified who these Yehudins are. We've identified the people who create the stickers for the arm.
Mm-hmm.
They're all part of the same group, but we can't talk about it here because otherwise we'll get shut down. So
we will. All right, common sense is not a gift, it's a punishment because you have to deal with everyone who doesn't have it. Interesting. Right, this guy recently passed, so we're told. Do you remember, Harry, when he came out with a song, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that? And people were asking, I wonder what that really is. Well, I think we know now. I would do anything for you. Really? But I won't do that.
Good job, dude. Kick her off the cliff.
Absolutely. I've got to throw this one in, guys, for good measure, just for a giggle. Are people that stupid? Well, yeah, George Lucas. I've got a screenshot. George Lucas, the guy that made Star Wars, actually said, "Why is the public so stupid?" I mean, this is obviously some kind of aerobics swimming pool thing, but I mean, come on.
Well, did you hear what our president called a reporter?
No, what?
He called him a stupid son of a bitch.
Oh, nice.
With his hot mic.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, if you pause the video, guys, and just take a minute to read this, you can see that it's all been predictive. It's all been leading up to what we've got going on today. And again, I'll just throw this one in just for a bit of a giggle.
The symptoms.
Yeah. Okay, so are you being served? Well, served here has two meanings. You can receive service, or you can be served up. Well, most this was actually a sitcom, a British sitcom from the 70s. You have this guy here, John Inman. And we've done previous podcasts, Harry. Our Six in the Sit Eye is probably the one that describes what this realm is really about. You got Mrs. Slocum, this thing here, slow come slowly. Captain Peacock, it's all innuendo.
Yeah, the reference is always about the ass.
Yes. Yeah. Now, are you being served? This popped up yesterday in my feed. Now, I remember, Harry, back in 2015, there was loads of information about this. You could find it on YouTube. You could find it everywhere. Loads and loads and loads. And it always revolved around this particular fast food outlet.
Yeah, it was pretty common. Like you said, you'd see at least a couple of stories on YouTube.
Yeah.
Every week about finding human parts and also like little nano strings in the food and all that.
Yeah. But it's interesting that this came up while I'm making this presentation, And then I found this, and you shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall you eat, from Leviticus. And just to add insults, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sights. This is from Ezekiel.
Talk about not wasting any part of the human, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to talk about the heart and the mind. In the Bible, the heart is considered the seat of life or strength. Hence, it means mind, soul, spirit. Now, think about that. Just hold that thought. The heart is the seat of your soul. And down here it says the two organs communicate via the muscular walls around the heart. So the heart and the mind are connected. And this in well, I just grabbed a random passage. And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart and a willing mind. Heart and mind. Okay. So what have we been going through for the last couple of years? If not this. Yeah. Psychiatry is BS. So we've had this attacked in order for us to get this, which causes this. How many of you knew this word a year ago? Not many. Now it's common. So you've got a clear connection between this and this.
Yeah, and let alone a heart condition that you were seeing even young children have. I mean,
Yeah,
they haven't even had a chance to damage the heart. So obviously something is doing that for them.
yeah. So who's responsible? Well, if you've not watched our copy and pasted reality podcast from last May, just go onto the channel. Well, you're on the channel. Click on videos, and just scroll down. You'll see it. Copy and pasted reality from May last year. And it's basically who's behind it all is the Genesis 127 creation. And God bless them. Blah blah blah. This is in 128. Go out, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over it. Subdue it and have dominion over it. And we know from our studies, Harry, that the word was in Genesis 1:2, and the earth was without form, comma,
Became.
and void is became. Um, so the fruitful place was a wilderness. It was fruitful. This is from Jeremiah. I beheld. Now, who was Jeremiah, Harry? If man wasn't created until Genesis 1:27, who was Jeremiah and who were his people? And the fruitful place was already here because it was copied.
Yep.
Then it was destroyed, which we've shown countless times. And the Lord said, the whole land shall be desolate, yet I won't make a full end. In other words, I won't destroy it all.
Yeah.
Which brings us,
Obviously, these people were pre-Adamic, pre-fake God creation
yep,
people.
yep, yep. Which brings us to this. So what we contend, guys, if you look at the circle on the left, that's the copy. Okay, the perfect copy of the original. Then this part, 70% of it was destroyed and it was rebuilt. Okay, the Genesis 1 creation story is a recreation story. And the part in the center was left untouched. I will not make a full end. I won't destroy it all. He left this. Well, what does this represent? It represents a lot of Asia, China, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, etc. Because beautiful building such as this that we couldn't construct today was not destroyed, yet the cathedral in my hometown, Coventry, was bombed in World War II. Why would you bomb a cathedral? Well, we know why, because they weren't cathedrals, were they? They were energy centers. So everybody runs out and gets this because, and we've heard this from people, Harry, saying that they've lost their connection to God or whatever, because it's all getting They want us uploaded into the cloud, the metaverse, whatever you want to call it. Okay.
And we've touched about that 1001. It's about Satan.
Yeah. Yeah. Say 10. This is what they're striving for, and I think that this is what's going to cause this, which, the predicted program has been around for so long because Christians call it the rapture. you know
Well, we know what rapture means.
we know what rapture means, but for those who don't, if you just do a quick search, it says the origin. You can pause and read all of it. From Paul. Paul's a fake apostle, right? Paul's the only person who calls himself an apostle, with the exception of John, I think it is. It calls him a fake apostle.
Right.
Um,
I think there's like 150 references just like that.
yeah,
And the only two times is Paul calling himself
yeah,
and then John telling you he's fake.
yeah, yeah. So the rapture comes from the Greek word harpazo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. For those of you that are new to the channel, he's Greek. He's fluent in Greek, because he's a Greek. Um, so harpazo, which means to snatch away. You said it also means to kidnap, Harry.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk to someone on the street and they tell you, be careful so you don't get arpazo. If someone says that to you in the Greek, they give you the full sentence, it's a negative connotation.
Yeah,
They're telling you, be careful to not get kidnapped, get
yeah,
snatched away.
yeah,
It's not talking about someone who's going to rescue you from the bus that's coming down the street and they push you out of the way. That's
yeah,
not what they're talking about. Arpazo means to snatch you and to kidnap you, take you against your will.
yeah. And explains that believers would be snatched away from earth into the air, where they're going to meet baby Jesus in the clouds. The clouds, the cloud. Where do we upload stuff? Into the cloud. Now, again, Harry, we were gonna we kind of were gonna do this podcast yesterday, but we decided to put it off 24 hours. And it's amazing when we have these strange synchronicities. This popped up in my feed this morning, so I just took a screenshot. Your soul has left your body. The sole purpose. I mean, come on, guys. Soul, S-O-U-L, soul, S-O-L-E. The sole purpose of this, I'm not going to read it. Your soul has left your body. The rapture.
It's vacated or vacationing from your body.
Yeah. I mean, you see how long this has been going on. Again, you can read that yourself. So what is the URL? Well, it's interesting, Harry, that when we looked at this yesterday, a uniform resource locator. Well, what's a resource? Human resources.
Yeah, the human entity.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting that phonetically, URL. I mean, talk about in your face, in plain sight. What is it the biblical Jesus said? Know ye not your gods? Question. El Ohim. URL. URL. People have been saying that after they received the sticker, that they've got a MAC address. You know what I mean? They're getting picked up on by Bluetooth. Yeah, it's all there. Now, for those of you that haven't seen this, if you go to this website, and as you can see, you've got a search bar. Well, type in what I typed in here, okay? And you will read where it came from. You can check this for yourself. You see where I've highlighted it in blue? This was 190 years ago. Now, 19 has a special meaning to these. Do you remember that song, Harry? No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
19.
19. Yeah, the average age of the American soldier in Vietnam was 19.
Mhm.
Well, 1830 is 190 years prior to where we are now, or 10 cycles of 19 years. Well, 19 is the eighth prime. And you know, Harry, we've talked about the eight being the loop, the reincarnation. 19 is the eighth prime number. Well, we had this back in 1919. And just to throw things off the scent, Harry, I want you to lend me a year, which will take us to 1920. We had 19 years, we get 1939, beginning of World War II, which ended in 1945. Plus 19 years takes us to 1964, pay back the borrowed year from 1919, and we get 1963 and the JFK. No, another 19 years, we get 1982 and the Falklands War. And when we talked about this last time, Harry, one of our subs told us that her boyfriend was in the UK Navy and went there in 1982. And she said he sat on a boat for 2 weeks, did nothing, and came home.
Mhm.
Another 19 years, we get 2001. Another 19 years, we get 2020. There's nothing to see here, guys. Nothing to see. What's
Yeah.
important about the number 19, other than the fact it's the eighth prime? Well,
Well,
in the
we do know that the Yehudans look to the sky clock to try to predict, what's going to happen. And we know that the astronomical events, a lot of them recur every 19 years, or they fall into a cycle
mm,
that runs a 19-year metonic cycle.
yeah. Well, 19 in the tarot, 19 is the sun card, accomplishment, enlightenment, vitality. Okay. Um, and if you just type in Vatican sun worship, look at that. That's right at the top, sun worship, brackets, Baal worship, grand design exposed. That's what they worship. They worship the sun. Now, this, for those of you that are not familiar with this, just pay attention for a couple of minutes and I'll explain what it is. This whole realm, this simulated realm, the operating system, the Windows 10, if you like, is pi 22 divided by 7. Okay, so if you go to what's called the string of pi, 3.142, and then allegedly another million or so numbers, but 19 places after the decimal point, um, we search for 19. Okay, 19 is at position 37. So 3 points and then go 37 numbers and you'll get to 19. 37 is important because the moon card in tarot is the 18th card. 19 plus 18 is 37. Illusions, psychic messages, weathering the storm. And 37 is at the 46th decimal place. Okay, so the number 19 is found at the 37th. 37th is found at the 46th. And guess what? 46 is found at the 19th, right? So you have this cycle of 19, 37, 46. We have 46 chromosomes. So we have 19 is the sun, 19 plus 18 is 37, which is represents the sun and the moon. And then number 37 appears at the 46th decimal place, which represents the earth. There's your Holy Trinity, 19, 37, 46.
And those three are instrumental in having the reincarnation cycle
Yes.
happen so that we can become that battery to run their realm because they need
Yes.
us.
Yes. Okay. Now, Harry, you put me onto this while we were talking and suggested I look at this, guys. If you you can watch anything on this particular platform. If you have difficulty getting it, then I suggest you look at our the VPN that we promote. It's $70 a year. We all get 30% off. Even Harry and I, we get 30% off. Brings it down to $49 a year, less than a dollar a week. You can watch anything. And this is called Upload. I watched the first three, and I'm into the fourth episode. Essentially, it's what this dude's talking about, right? Exactly what we've been talking about. What happens is when you're in a life or death situation in this particular movie, you can go into an operating theater and be operated on, and maybe you'll come good, or you can be uploaded into this metaverse. Um, and the problem of being uploaded into the metaverse is it still costs you money up there. The dude at the front on the left, he was in a car crash. His girlfriend decided to upload him. Um, and even while he's stuck in this metaverse, he's still got to pay $2.99 for a cup of coffee. Well, he can't earn any money. He doesn't have any money. So unless his girlfriend, who's in this realm, continuously pays for him, this guy can't exist. It's worth watching, just to get your head around what, because they're telling us what they plan to do. Um,
Well,
it's yeah,
the funny thing is, they're with Zuckerberg, he's trying to sell a reality,
yeah,
okay, a virtual reality that you can have experiences in.
yeah,
And he has an hour long commercial to push
yeah,
meta.
yeah,
And in reality, what's happening is they're telling you in this upload movie that no matter how good the content is up in this uploaded reality, it doesn't compare to what's real in the sentient realm.
yeah, yeah. And the sentient realm can communicate with this VR realm. This series is set in 2033, by the way.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so I'm going to switch gears, guys, because I found this extremely interesting. This is Ben from Russian Vids RV, um, because I watched this and made some connections to what we've just been talking about. I mean, we looked at the Vesica Pisces, the all-seeing eye is just a flattened out version of the Vesica Pisces, the copied realm, the destroyed realm, the recreated realm, and the bit in the middle that it was left alone. Well, what you're looking at, guys, is a Catholic Church. It means big hope. You've got the sun's rays, Harry. I'm not even going to try and pronounce or bastardize the pronunciation. But this is a Catholic church in Poland, and we are told that the all-seeing eye is that of Lucifer. Again, the all-seeing eye is directly connected to the Vesica Pisces. We've all seen this kind of stuff: the light bearer, the star, back of the dollar bill, etc. But what a lot of people don't get, and this is why this thing stuck in my or jumped out and hit me, is you've got the cube. Okay, what have we got here? Oh, look, two pillars. Where have we seen those before? Oh, that's right. That's right. The two pillars, the sun and the moon. Okay, the sun and the moon. And people go anti-clockwise around the cube, anti-clockwise. Well, what else goes anti-clockwise? The stars go anti-clockwise around Polaris, the pole star, the North Star, whatever you want to call it, the Big Dipper, which is, of course, the swastika. We we think that this was actually the mark of Cain, don't we, Harry?
Yeah.
Biblical mark of Cain. It's not a good thing. It's actually good luck. It's a positive symbol, but it was hijacked just the same as they hijack everything. So anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise. And of course, the cube, the cube that they wear on their head, the cube. The cube. Yeah. Of course, an unfolded cube is the Christian cross. It's all connected. And this, again, is a screenshot from RV. This is the pole star, taken with probably a P900 or something, which kind of gives you, kind of looks like a three-dimensional cube. And of course, it's been in our faces for years. Everybody's familiar with this one, but I don't think many people are familiar with this one. I know I wasn't, and you weren't. What about you guys? Are you familiar with this? Have you ever seen this? Look at the star in the center, and the various lines, for twisting it or doing whatever you're going to do with it. If you look at that, which is that, there are no coincidences in this world. The cube with the bite of the apple, representing the Garden of Eden. Oh yeah, here we go. This was what's his face from Star Wars. Why is the public so stupid?
That's George Lucas that said that,
That's
right?
him. Yeah, George Lucas. Why is the
And,
public
and, and you heard what Biden said in his one of his press conferences recently. He called a reporter for asking a question a stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Which by standards of the original founding fathers, no one gave a shit about that.
No.
But when you look at this angry robotoid guy that pretends to be the president,
yeah,
he does it on purpose. I think he can't help himself.
Oh, absolutely. So the question being, Polaris is the all-seeing eye. Interesting. So shout out to Ben from Russian Vids, RV Truth, for throwing that one into the mix as well. Yeah. All
just real quick, Central Intelligence Agency. If that's not an oxymoron,
yeah,
I don't know what is.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you got the eagle. You got to have the eagle. Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's really the phoenix.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So there we have it, guys. There's what we've come up with for you to think about, consider, like, share, comment.
What you're doing here is you're just tying more strings together.
Yeah.
This puts them all together and it shows the flow. And we've talked about all of this stuff already. We've mentioned it. We've talked about who these people are. They're the ownership of all the vaccine or the jab companies.
Yeah.
They are the Genesis 1:27 original creation. They are the people that are the serpent people.
They are the chosen people. They were chosen. They were chosen by the God of this copied realm. They were chosen to do his bidding, as Genesis 1:28 talks about. If you haven't watched the movie Free Guy, it blew us away because Free Guy came out in August, the 11th of August last year, and it shows that we live in a copied realm. And it was like a few months after you and I, Harry, had done our podcast called Copy and Pasted Reality. And then when we watched Free Guy, we're like, oh my God, they're telling you. Yeah. They're out and out telling us that we live in a copied and pasted realm. Free Guy is the movie.
And we used to think, why is it that a God would have a chosen people?
Yeah.
I mean,
now we know. Now we know
because he needs the people.
Yeah.
And the people need him. It's like a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
They think they need each other.
Yeah.
And so we used to think, oh, well, why would a God choose a people and call him his chosen special group? I mean, an all-knowing, omnipotent, omnipresent God,
which he's not. which is
Doesn't
not.
need that. He
No,
doesn't need anything.
there. I don't know if for those of you that have watched it, Free Guy, and this is not a spoiler alert for those who haven't watched it, but there's a point in that movie when the god of you'll see what I mean. He sits on the floor in his room full of his chosen people, the ones that he's paying to run this realm, and he lays back and tries to kind of bounce. What do you call it, Harry? You know,
It's
when you lay on your back and you just try and bounce back up
yeah.
onto your
You
feet.
barely put your hands back, and then you flip yourself up in an
Yeah,
acrobatic move, and you stand on your feet. He
yeah.
couldn't do it. He
You
couldn't
couldn't do
do
it.
it.
No, no, no. Now, why would they put that in there? Why would they do that? Because they're
So the
showing
rich,
you.
so the ritual will work.
Yeah, they're
It's
telling you.
disclosure. They
They're
have to.
telling you that the God of this realm is not omnipotent. He
Yeah.
lay on the floor and he tries to bounce up on his feet without using his hands. He can't do it. He can't run this whole realm without the people in his little in his company office that are operating the computers and running the whole game. So it's a really, really big eye opener. I mean, there's lots of 33s and 56s and all that kind of stuff in there as well. But at the end of the day, they're telling you carte blanche. They're telling you out and out that we live in a simulation. We live in a copied realm.
Yeah. And then now these meta people, they want to just put one more layer of
Yeah,
simulation between you and the simulation that we're already in.
yeah, yeah. They want you sitting at home with your VR goggles on, living in that in that
200.
in
They
that
want
realm.
you. They want you to be in a 236 square foot cubicle
Yep.
and pretending that you have a 20-acre mansion.
Yeah.
You know, the reality, this fake reality, better than a real.
Well,
No,
it's all
no,
about
no.
the again. It's all about the mind, because what you're seeing in that VR, your mind. They say seeing is believing, right?
Mhm.
So you're going to see that. You're going to be part of that, and they show you that in that upload the series. They
Well,
show it.
if they
Yeah,
can make this real world miserable enough, I
yeah.
think a lot of people might just decide to jump ship and go to the virtual.
Well, that could be part of the plan. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to admit that certain people in certain positions over the last couple of years, they can't be described as anything other than mad, psychopathic madness. Yeah, it's sheer madness, absolute sheer madness. You know, but anyway, we've got to be careful what we say on this platform. So we'll end it here, guys. Again, thanks for being with us. Thanks for sticking with us, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming back, Harry.
All
So
right.
we'll see you next time. Take care, guys. We love you all. Cheers.
Take care. Bye bye.